Welcome to the point where your future self is now looking back and saying thank you. To this point, this lesson we are talking all about trading plan, and we are setting up our own trading plan. This is of course very, very important, and as we saw in the goal setting lesson, this is what we are looking to follow each and every single day while we are trading, because we need rules to follow. It's just like a job. You got to treat this thing like a job if you want to make it real, and in order to do so, there is some rules that we have to follow. Now, as I said in, I think, the last lesson, the market is designed to beat you. You are not supposed to win in this market. Only the big players are supposed to win. But with our trading plan and our trading strategy, our edge over the market, by following that each and every day, we should come out in the long term with some profits. So let's jump over here, and I'm going to add in this little document. Now, it doesn't look like much, I know, because let's face it, the trading plan is actually really simple to be writing out. So let's fill this out together, because I want to make sure that we are doing absolutely everything that we need to. I'm not just showing you this and saying, let's go for it. So this is our trading plan, and basically we're just breaking it down into 5 little steps. We have when are we trading, what are we trading, what is our designated risk, how do we enter, and when are we not entering into a trade. So this is how I like to write out my trading plans, and this is the plans that I basically follow each and every single day. These are my rules, but these are not, of course, how I'm executing in the market. These are just, if I am to be executing, this is what I'm looking to do. So you can quickly fill this out. Absolutely feel free to pause this, fill this out, and let's just jump straight into it. We'll fill this out together. So first of all, when are we going to be trading? Well, we want to be looking at a session time that we are going to be trading. For me, I am trading the GBP versus the USD. So for me personally, I am looking to trade in the London session. Okay, I'm only ever looking at executing trades once the London session opens. I'm not looking to take trades in Tokyo session or New York session for this strategy and for my plan. Now here where it says news, this is more of like when I'm not going to be trading. So for me, it will be that I will be avoiding bank holidays and high impact news that will affect my entries into the market. Okay, I can never spell affect right. I get confused about which one is the right one. If you do too, I was going to say leave a like, but I don't even know if you can like these videos. Anyway, so when are we trading? Session time, it's going to be London session for me, which, let's fill this out a little bit more. London session, my local time will be 7 p.m. during, is it daylight savings now? I think it's daylight savings. During daylight savings. And I actually don't know what time yet for the other one, but I'll leave that for now. I think it might be 5 or 6. And question mark PM when not daylight savings. So if you are trading a session time like London session, but you don't actually live in the UK or close enough to London where you're the same time, then obviously you will be trading a different time to your local time. For me, the reason I have it changed is because the daylight savings. Basically, I know that London session opens for me now at 7, but I know that once the clocks change again, I think theirs change as well. You gotta like figure out when it changes too. So there could be different times that you'll be looking to trade. Very important to be taking note of that. But as I taught you a long time ago now, you can change your TradingView chart to show you the local time. So it'll make it way easier to figure out which candle you should be entering in on once the market opens. So fill that out. And then we have news. I'll be avoiding bank holidays and high impact news that will affect my entries into the market, right? Perfect. That is the only times we are trading. When our session lines up with our pair and when the news suits us. What are you trading? So for me, I am trading. This is where we want to put our pair that we are trading. For me, it's going to be the GBP USD. So I will be trading the GBP USD primarily. Actually, I'm not going to write that because I'm only trading GBP USD. You can look to trade different pairs. That is absolutely fine. I used to trade different pairs. I used to have 3 different pairs. So I would have just written out, I will be trading this pair, that pair, that pair. And then basically I also say that I will be trading the most probable pair on that day, right? You can write something out like that. Now, what is your designated risk? We just went over risk management, so you should be absolutely spot on with this. That will be in the risk percentage section of this part, so we'll start there. So for me, I will be risking 2% per trade and only taking a max of 1 position per day. That is my risk percentage. I'm only risking 2% on a trade, and I'm only looking to take 1 trade for my entire day. Yours can look like that. Obviously, if your risk percentage is slightly different, hopefully it is only a 1 to 3 risk percentage. Just obviously adjust it to how you need to. Now, stop loss, I will be covering this a little bit further, probably in the next bit when I talk about my strategy. But stop loss, for me, my stop loss is going to be varied, right? It is not a set thing every time. It is not a 10 pip stop loss every single time. Some people trade something similar to that. But for me, it will be that my stop loss will vary based on the... Actually, no. I can write this differently. That's not even how you spell vary. Wow. My stop loss will be placed 2 pips below the setup for my execution. Now, I'll be covering over this a lot more in depth with my actual strategy, but 2 pips below / above, because it could be taken short, the setup for my execution. So let's say that we get a liquidity sweep and it goes to here past the liquidity, and then I'm going to be placing my stop loss 2 pips above that, right, to then look for a short. So something like that, and then obviously if we sweep liquidity, 2 pips below it to look for a long. But that'll be covered a lot more in the strategy. But you can just write that out or leave it blank for now, and then when we do the strategy, you can fill that out. Now, how do we enter into the market? Absolutely going to be covering this in the next lesson, of course, but we want to fill this out like so. So I will enter the market if a valid opportunity presents itself based on my strategy. That, of course, means that I'm not going against my strategy. I'm not tweaking the strategy while I'm looking to enter because, oh, it's very close to doing this. No, we can't be tweaking the strategy. The strategy is set there for a reason, right? You want to be avoiding losses, and you want to only be taking the probable setups. And look, not every day you have to trade either. So there's absolutely all of that as well. So not entering a trade. I mean, well, I kind of did cover that up here with the news, but not entering a trade. So I won't look to enter a trade. Actually, we can write this. I won't look to enter a trade if there is no draw on liquidity made for that day, which of course, going back over our draw on liquidity, if we don't reach a previous high or low and we do not create a draw on liquidity, I'm not looking to trade that day. I'm avoiding it, taking the day off. Another reason that I won't look to trade, I won't look to enter a trade if there is no clear direction with the draw on liquidity. What I mean by that is that sometimes the daily draw on liquidity, let's say it's reached a high point and it swept it and it's sort of come back down. If it's like very close, like right on it even, it's not clear whether it swept it and closed below. It's not clear whether it swept it and kept above. So for those days, I like to just avoid those as well because obviously it's not very clear and then it's me that has to guess. That's, again, not ideal. I want to be waiting for the trades to present themselves to me. I'm not rushing out there looking to enter into any positions or anything unless the market is setting up the way I think it should. Now, this is basically going to be our trading plan. Those are the rules that we're sticking to when we are trading each and every day. This, of course, covers our risk management that we want to be risking for the day. and our rules based around when we are looking to enter into the market and all of that good stuff. So quite simple setting up a trading plan, but again, it is very important that we do this. We can just break it down, basically tell ourselves when we should be looking to take trades and when we should be looking to entering, how we will, days we're going to avoid, all of that stuff, because of course we want to be avoiding days that aren't set up in our favor, and we want to be taking trades consistently with our risk, right? Another thing that I didn't say in risk management, actually, I'm going to say right now, risk percentage being 2%, keep your risk the exact same, right? I risk 2% each and every single day. It does not matter on anything else. Why? Because if I'm to lower my risk to 1% for a day, for whatever reason, say I'm not feeling too confident in the setup, I lower my risk to 1%. If that wins, then I'm only winning half of what I should normally. So 2% risk, let's say I go 1 to 2, I make 4% on that day. If I'm 1% risk, I'm only making 2% win for that day. So it doesn't add up a lot if you're changing your risk per trade. I stick to the exact same risk per trade. You should too. It is very much a lot easier for the strategy as well. Let's say you have a 50% win rate. That means you're going to be break even if you're trading one-to-one risk to rewards at a 50% win rate, right? But if you start going, some of your trades are 2%, some of your trades are 1%, you still have that 50% win rate, you're going to be under, because some of those 1% winners are not going to be able to reach what the normal 2% winners could have. So obviously it's up to you completely, but look, I've taken my own advice, because 2% each and every day, then I know that my risk is going to be the exact same. I should be losing the same every time I lose, and I should be winning roughly the same, if not more, every time that I win. So yeah, we'll get more into that obviously in the strategy and stuff like that in terms of the wins. But this is our trading plan, guys. You can make it look a lot nicer. I don't really care what mine looks like, to be honest, but this is just a good example of a trading plan that you should be putting into place and writing for your own rules and making sure that we follow them each and every single day. Now, with that being said, that concludes the lesson. Your homework is obviously to fill out a trading plan like this. And now is time to get into the strategy in the next lesson. So I'll see you all there.